Far to the north, across the vastest frozen ocean in Minecraft, is a land I call the Northam Woods. In this Arctic kingdom are the Wolfen tribes. The Wolfen tribes, Ice, Tower, and Timber. These wolves are not lichens or weremen. They are like my Khajiit in the desert lands. My Minecraft Wolfen tribes. Tower are the builders of fortresses and watchtowers. The Tower tribe is the second largest in the Northam Woods. There is also Ice, peaceful fishing villagers, who live in mostly primitive communities. The Ice tribe is the smallest of the Wolfen. Finally, there is the largest tribe and eldest, Timber, the warriors and keepers of traditions. The archwolf of all three tribes is a member of the Timber tribe, Archdendron. The Wolfen Kingdom is a combined inspiration from fantasy elves and dwarves, crossed with my own imagination. And so, over the years, I have built many underground citadels, connected to these villages, and even treehouse villages at some points. I love these Wolfen tribes. The Wolfen tribes are well known throughout this world, despite being so remote. Their fearlessness is comparable to Vikings, and their tactics are unparalleled. And so, in light of the Orcish raiders banding together, King Rilfum of the Red Coast has sent one of his most trusted and skilled knights to deliver a message to Archdendron of the Wolfen tribes. The Wolfen tribes all have worked together. There's never been conflict between the tribes. They understand that together they are much stronger, and that they're able to accomplish these delves and citadels deep underground. There are no real farming communities within the Wolfen tribes. All of their food is gathered through hunting and fishing, and a small amount of foraging in the wilderness. And Archdendron has ordered that blacksmithing only be done within the citadel, and that the tribes should follow the traditions that came before them. They have learned to work stone very well and create these large statues. Statues of watchers. The Wolfen watchers stand ready at many different posts, all around the perimeters of their villages, citadels, fortresses, and towers. They work stone and wood. They also build small sailing ships that can maneuver around these frozen oceans that border their Northam Woods. The Watchers are mostly Timber and Tower tribe, but there are some Ice tribe Watchers. In a short while, you'll learn why the Wolfen tribes built this fortress and build fortresses like it. They're not the only species that lives here in the Northern Woods. They have a natural enemy. This is why the smallest tribe lives on these kind of isolated from the land, no pun intended, villages. And here's a ice tribe watcher. They can survive on those ships down inside the cabins of them. Here's their fortress. These are the defenders. They group together from all the tribes. They wield axes and spears with their round shields. They occupy these fortresses and they stand ready to defend against their natural enemy, always waiting out there in the Northern Woods. They have barracks and commissaries, even medical stations there within the fortress. They will accommodate travelers, merchants, and anyone who is just traveling, basically. Depending on the alliance of a army or militia, they will also be welcome to stay here in this fortress. The Tower Tribe is very proud of their buildings, just like I'm proud of the buildings as well. There we have our group of defenders in the fortress main courtyard. Go inside the barracks. They have cooking stations, and you can see inside that room. And then here's a room with maybe a little more privacy. And of course you can imagine soldiers and guards sleeping against the towers and inside the walls and things like that from time to time. Another place that the Watchers spend a lot of time is this large tower over here and the snowy ice wall at the border of their lands. Other than their natural enemies, they do run into polar bears from time to time, especially the Ice Tribe. And they've become respectful of the polar bears. However, I think unlike a human tribe in a fantasy world, they have not tamed the polar bears. They just co-inhabit the Northern Wood and the North Sea. but this is where watchers will spend a lot of time. This is kind of like their main base, this large tower. So it is not uncommon for foreigners to come by. They are aware of humans and Khajiits, goblins and orcs, things of that nature. They know they're not alone in this world. This must be the place. God, it's freezing out here. Oh, yes. This is the Arctic Kingdom for sure. I should hurry in to let them know I come in peace. They have no doubt noticed my arrival.
Halt! What brings you to the Northern Wood, knight?
King Rotham has sent me with an urgent message for the great Archdendron.
Very well. Just don't go poking around. If you need any food or warmth, stop at the fortress within the trees.
Understood. Thank you.
So, orcish invaders, you say?
Yes, it was wise of your king to seek help. Who else has the Desert Kingdom called upon? We have sent an envoy to 2 other kingdoms, the Jungle Lands and the people of the Mesa.
I see. We cannot help. Your lands are too far. Orcs are no match for the Red Coast. Why is your king so concerned?
We cannot face all of the pirates alone.
I understand. I will not risk the security of my lands or the lives of my brave warriors for a war so far away. I have spoken.
Yes, Your Majesty. Thank you. The Knights of the Red Coast is turned away. The Wolfen tribes will not aid the Red Coast. They will have to hope that the jungle lands and the peoples of the Mesa will be more generous and willing to help. You see, Archdendron, he knows of a coming attack on his own kingdom. The natural enemies of the Wolfen tribes are these Yetins. Another fantasy creature of my own imagination. These Yetins, accompanied by their Nor beasts, are a constant scourge against the northern tribes. They fight on the borders and in the villages, and they live within these deep groves of snowy pine, in the ravines and the caverns, next to the frozen lakes and rivers. They're right at home in the snow. They do not build, but they accumulate hoards of loot. They have an affliction for metal. They don't use it to create anything. They use stone picks and axes and large wooden clubs to fight with. They just hoard the metal, almost like a dragon hoards gold. And the Wolfen tribes, they know this, and this is why they closely guard their blacksmiths, and why they are always watching and prepared to defend. King Rythms is not aware of the Yetins, and he will likely not understand why the wolves do not send help. It will have to be the hope of the people and the connections that were made during this time that will keep Rythms from considering revenge. A war between the Wolfen tribes and the Red Coast would be devastating. King Rythms is growing restless. His people are poor, and the other lands of this world are slowly ceasing to aid them in different ways. They're kind of being left alone. And this is likely why the orcs have banded together and plan to start their invasion here on the Red Coast. If they take this city, they'll have a defense point and their first real base. That could mean even larger scale sieges on the other nations and civilizations within this world. The orcs know this, and the snake tribe that banded them all together, they have a plan. They intend to build an orcish kingdom here in the southern lands. We'll find out in the next episode what happens to the Red Coast. Will they survive the orcish invasion? Will the jungle lands and the peoples of the Mesa answer the call? Thank you for watching this. Subscribe for free XP and take it easy. You're my favorite Minecrafters.